straightforward.
Stile gemu majman ngi keji ji ko marwa. Stile ni ngi chwa chetang ni yude da chingma da ma chodu. Ani kasong ama da nga zo ngap ngap ji sondu ji sobra wala. Ti kaptula ni nga zo gi dan da di kasa gura. Da sondu nalo le choche shaba imbe nen da ti ge chupton ro jo mare. Ti nalo lalen tar ba gar gar chong yo re. Lale mata ba gar gar chong yo la jo mare. O ti gang chi song ro nas chi shwai.
어디 지역구에 야부충스 나도 납주 챕시드 데베톤에 가서 진짜주가 손도 사업을 폐지 된제 시디 달에다 더워요 봐 벽이 때문에 벽치나니기 대바 아니 시제 기지 톤에 에시아에 안다는 야나드 데베톤에 칸데스 먼저 벽된디 카베스네레 체루 땅국어에 타마디 가르고 아니 가서 커뮤니케이션 재단 지어봐. 든지시 달에 든지시도 더워요래. 이 아버지가 든지 굽주 곱단 지알레샤. 되게 참아 가시안 때대요래. 먼저 차시들이 파기 챕시 사바체 다리 쉬운게도 사바체. 근데 진짜 고번나라 벤조담 시윤다 아니 가서 가르고 릭슝다 디벨롭먼트. 이 손도 참아 사비 쉬굴라 되게 참아 촉디체 아니 가서 락다 채워 가르도 가르면도 따야래. 참아 초디야래. 지성상 간수 탄다 락다디 체열에스니 요마레 이네다 미유코나 나라는 하스나야 디게포를 대바여레 단데 쉬게 송도 시에다 가지고면 튼진 다우 이산 대바 차되고 알아 찍들에 당에 티베트 야복고 세들에 이네 튼진 구부 곱지 할람 차자싱이 때베 때려 갑라 아니 간수 딘데 쉬야르다 게치 토니 케바 쉬우든데 딘데 쉬야 프로페서 케라 체리 체제든데 딘데 쉬야레 다나시 베데 간라 톡번닝버 쉬우든데 딘데 쉬야레 고마 로니슈 숨주고 톡버체 안데네 호조 라칭 라오 수수 차례 현단당에 상무수 페로나 고조 바갑지 트여든데 체 디스 트여잉에 서럽지 롱랑에 서럽지 상무수 페로 지스 봐 그래서 다레미유 나가라레다 안제 베슈고 얘네 요마레 카땅 균주칭 광안조 페로 지스 랑지 중에 페로치스 우멜람 중에 베창아 코유 딱 굴직 월라 아니 가서 님 숨 돌랭 체시 타마 돔디 가서 예직 대비 때도 관라 마이클 데민도 왔단다고 how the Michael is here and we went through all the recommendations from the political in the 550 forum. The good thing was environment was good, all our old friends came back, all new friends also got energized, that was all good. The downside was the recommendations were more or less what we already knew. Namjundening anzuchi horwa. Sawa kinds mindu, shida mindu, right? Michael, that's what we discussed. And Michael said, it's a good thing. That means city already knows all these things. And even if you bring the best experts from around the world, they have nothing much to contribute. Maybe 10%. And we'll go through it again. So today, I hope this time we have more breakout session time for you all. The last time complaint was breakout session was too short, 3 hours, so they could not come down to details as to what should CTA or Tibetan freedom movement as a whole should do politically. So this time, okay, we'll leave the whole day for you all. Tarinta shogen ni gonda about breakout session re. Ta khanan tsiriya yonem and tsirche. As I said, remember Buddha's word: don't criticize, give a solution. So we are looking for solution. Yes, nga. Solution la dekho specific. I've been very clear. Because Mr. Tibet Quran la funding Rama segudwa. I said it's good. Mr. Tibet forum la dwala. It's good. Quran dila. Ni should lever. Sikyong damla le so kasha to do chevre. Bit of an issue. Kansa ngoma Mr. Tibet kan ngoma kasha samzu yora. This anti-Tibetan culture, singing sort of non-Tibetan culture sort of. There was a bit of issue. But each time there's a discussion, kasha listens. And then entrepreneurship minduslar. We put it entrepreneurship program to go. Film making le mindul. Film making we do it. Increased scholarship we do. We will listen. But you have to go through a process. November all the departments supposed to submit their budget. In January I sit in the finance department, we sit, and then we put all the budget in line item lugre. Then the parliament, we present to the parliament and budget is approved. And then April on we implement it. The BHU program, every Tibetan summer day, next month I have a program, give me money. We can't do that. A lot of rules and regulations, CTA, it's as bureaucratic as any government. So this time what we are hoping is your recommendation will be very, very specific. Now we all are Tibetans as family. We can be quite friendly, you know. Maybe I can say that, you know, among some of you, I think I was one of the best attendees, and I listened intently. My concentration was better than some of you. I saw some of you wandering around. When I attend, I attend. When I say I listen, listen. So what we don't want is this generic recommendation. Oh, the market is important for China. Let's put pressure on Chinese market. Yeah, we know that. Tell me which market, where, and when. Oh, UN is very important. We should use the UN forum. Of course, Tinshuki Shori, there are 100 agencies UN. Tell me which one, which area, when they have meetings, what is the agenda, and we will go there. So we want that kind of recommendations. Tinsu Wongale is a friend of mine. Rome Julie Dimba in all day in a digmar, Shetang or K Jawar, Manzung Azuda, Gemil, do sugar, the K Jawarel and Yorwa, Sugar Yorita, do Kandi sugar, do Kandi sugar, says Toya, Shetang, Shek and Titangore, that's what we want. I was saying, Shetang or do sugar, Malawas, Doka or Naku, Jumbo Chijung Yorwa, that's what we want. Here's a guy. One day you will do it. Here's one. This was a generic the Masung Ruchis, like doa. And here's a Dikasa, that we can be quite frank, Chiki Disungswa. Oh, Pishung Tajata 30, 40 years up to Chimindula. 40 years ago, website called Invent Chijure Tanguraya. 40 years ago, Cultural Revolution Chader, Yanal, Yoraya. Tandang was a website, the Cultural Revolution, the mentioned Chigo Marta, Yoraya. The Disonsa, I mean, so if you tell me which page, this page is 40 years old, 30 years old, and we will update it. The generic land, because we all know Tibet.net is the most updated website in the Tibetan world. Radio Free Asia, Voice of America, you all listen to, but 60% of the information comes from Tibet.net. They all accept, they all acknowledge that. This is the most updated, this is the most read website in the Tibetan world, in the whole Tibet support group world. And you just started in 2011. We updated in 2016. Also the website, we looked at American website, your Canadian website, Australian website, Indian website, and we came down and said, this is the most accessible ratio, let's follow the design. I think it's delaying, because I just met her. Of course, we can be friends, we can be friendly, no? We are family. Oh, you're there, she's talking about the style of the Tibetan website. I mean, style, Lavravaya. Of course, you are in New York, the New York style might be too fancy for us. But here in CTA, the Harvard graduate, the Columbia graduate, all the Shiri Kale has a PhD from Ari, is as qualified, as talented as anybody, you know. We know what's going on. We do according update. So Chigore. So just don't, okay, if it's a style, tell me which paragraph, which speech, which page, then we will change it. We want to change. How say? That's why we will call you. So when the now run, can't say I've put that Yavushus can't soon have a sugar, of course. That cousin is better gom de just someone in my shake.
No. DJ la pagi inda pagi. Oh, de kira.
Picture me. Mare Ming, to Tuglo, shirt.
Ming da dia.
But Togla. Shirt for the Sula.
My name is Tenzin Haran from JNU. My question is, in the realist understanding of international relations, we always see that national interest is the greatest priority. In such scenario, Tibet issue has always been the means rather than part of the end, and sometimes even vested interest. So how would you react to that?
Ultimately, Tibet issue is our issue. You know, yesterday we had discussion. You said some Indian scholars, be it American scholars, European scholars, anyone, all our supporters. You know, we have many friends, you know, I've invited them and talked to them, and I said, why don't you support us more? So you know, you talk to Indian or anyone, they say, ultimately, if I'm Indian, you're an Indian scholar, or Indian activist or leader, or American or European, they always say the same thing. at the end of the day, I will work for my interest and my national interest, not your interest, not Tibetan interests. You have to fight for your own interests. Don't expect us to come and, free your country or support you fully. We will use it as per our interests. And you have to see whether that interest is compatible or not. If it's compatible, you shake hands. If it's not compatible, you shy away. If it's semi-compatible, you go near, but don't shake hands. So that we have to figure out. So that's the way, it's a reality. So you can't say, oh, he is not a genuine friend, or he always criticizes. No, you have to go shake hands. If he makes good one comment, it's good. If you say, he is such a good friend, today he made a negative comment, we should shy away from or stay away from him or her. No, because given our situation, we need everybody. We need their help. And we should seek their help and use their help as per our interests. That's the way it should go. Ultimately, you have to fight your own battle. No one will fight for you because, for example, when I talk to some Indian friends, they say the same thing. No, we Tibetans are the most committed and loyal friend of India. His Holiness is the greatest supporter. Of course, we have heard this over and over again. When Bangladeshi, they wanted independence, they said the same thing. They came to us and free us, give us independence. We will be the biggest supporter of India. After independence, look at them, what they're doing to us. They're criticizing us. We supported Tamils. They killed one of our prime minister. We have heard this before. You Tibetans are saying you are most loyal to Indians and India should support, but we have seen this over and over again. You care for your interests, we care for interests, and sometimes there's a common ground and we go together. That we should always know. So sometimes they say, oh, CTA is too dependent on the West. We are going always to America and Europe. We know very, very well what we have to say, what we have to do, and how much in support they give or don't give. You just, be very realistic. And realpolitik is part of the package. So that way we should not be naive, that, oh, he is not supporting. Today he made harsh comment. They will. It's expected. Now.
This year, then we give you Sure.
공식으로 쇼버들이 아니 니초의 인지가 그렇죠.
가지게 집을 신가 꽤 차서 가지.
다디 가진기 저도 디슬로 차요. So basically, first I would like to extend my jealousy toward the people who came from West who have a good post. So my question is related to that. So my intention is not to criticize, but this is my true feeling. So as far when it comes to the citizenship we have, especially people in India, we are capable of holding a position in Indian government and everything, but somehow I have living a counterexample, my aunt and other people have applied for Indian citizenship, but somehow they got application or some letter from the CTA that it's not good. You have to preserve your identity. And this thing happened, and they limit us. We want to grow, but there's a lot of opportunity that we couldn't go. And somehow, when it comes to preservation, Indian Tibetan, even in education system, we have to compulsory learn Tibetan and not only English. But when it comes to opportunity, I feel West, that is the truth. And on the same route, I just want to say, is it the sustainability of CTA is only depend on the Indian citizenship, Indian Tibet, or is it beyond that thing? Because I see a lot of Tibetan.
Yes, I got your question. Okay.
Thank
Indian
you.
citizenship, okay.
Not only sustainability.
Sure. I think our stand is very clear. CTA's stand is whether Tibetans who were born in India from 1950 to 87, as per the Indian constitution, they're Indian citizen, they're entitled to apply for Indian citizenship. It's a law. See, if CTA says you cannot do it, that's illegal. You're violating, Indian constitution. That's what we say. Having said that, we do not, at the same time, CTA is for Tibetan refugees. Shija is for Tibetan refugees. School is for Tibetan refugees. So our stand is whether you apply for citizenship or not is individual choice. CTA cannot say you should. CTA cannot say you should not, because CTA is for Tibetan refugees. I mean, the welfare, all the welfare programs that we have. So that's our stand. Now, having said that, Indian government, an agency has given an instruction saying if you are an Indian citizen, then if you stay in Shija, that Shija was given to a Tibetan refugee saying, I don't have a place to stay and I don't have a citizenship, and please give me a land. The Indian government gave that land to Tibetan refugee. Hence, as per Indian government directive, Indian citizen should not have rights in Shija because that is meant for Tibetan refugee. So CTA's duty is to implement Indian laws. That's the Indian government directive. Whether you apply for citizenship or not is your individual choice. We cannot say you should, we cannot say you should not. To say you should not, that's illegal. To say you should, we can't, because CTA is supposed to uphold the interests of Tibetan refugees and Tibetan people and Tibetan freedom movement.
Next, the Pandit Sunamla.
Hello. Sikyong somebody share the chip. Yes, what the current chatilana. Tatanang to Pibeke, Netong the Janaki, Tenje Runu, Walide was some. Any to Miring Tapton and Mirik, Lajata, patriotic nationalism like the Peko, the Pekachum Chadiri. Nelang Suki, nationalism, Netong Jacavina, Tang to Shung Chani, Mimang Chani, Samant, and Detu, Tushu Pishim, Joking, and Swash which belong to ya. He must also show that nationalism, the Peg. Lerem Namazuna, Chachin Namaz, Kayuna, can display in a Tejishia, the Lapa, the Nini, the Dangaso Sajo Kazan.
Nationalism.
Patriotic nationalism.
Patriotic nationalism.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and it that showing it that in the PH, the Karichim be done, Lapa, any Kungusium, I think also the Sajo Kazakan in Mille was Miring or in it, to be Mirik like at the PH, the Karikarichi, Karikarichi, Islam, been on Australian.
The Jashin singing to Gorva, Susu Jakab Chedu, Jashin singing to Gore, and then I could Chepsi, Zadun Suel, Simshu, the Ninto book to Sigu in a dear Gores, Shishui. I can't speak or a Siajor, but the Shungtone, she's a Lobrakhan, Lobsang Sangay, Nam Junduni, Miman Lobso Jayadre, and Dana she Leja happy at it. As I said in my opening statement, I think as far as nationalism or Tibetan patriotism or participation, it's growing. As I said, in 2001 election and 2006 election, there was a decrease of participation from 35,000 to 32,000 Tibetans, the voters. In 2011 election, it increased to 49,000. 2016 election, it increased to 57,000. Between 2006 and 16, from 32,000, we increased to 57,000. That's like almost 77% increase, rather, in voter participation. That means they're paying more Green Book dues. They're participating more. So that means Tibetan patriotism or nationalism, Tibetan politics has become new passion now. Sangma, everywhere, WeChat, every dominating news, headline news, breaking news, Tibetan politics. Sikyong is breaking news. Gossip on the tea stall, Sangma, gossip. It has become new passion, which is a good thing. Now, how do we take this, good and the bad? With the increase in participation, increase in criticism of CTA, and Sikyong has also increased. It's also reality. And I say it's a good thing because now we are becoming normal democracy. For example, this 550 forum, Sudeokhala, organizer committee kitchen digre, or mo, personally Kyuju Chingere, Sikyong Katang, Ketan, Dingchang Shasle. Yeah? Tando Chigle Mindo, more Kamatans like, because she share the Ketan, speaker Shasle, speaker. Cousin, we want to listen. Why should we shy away from criticism? Kyunju Ching, Chef guys come in. Mala Mambo kids to breakfast at the see you can Kyunju Mambo Shuch, Karasamu to Sangan, can someone to slay him. I saw the door consola, chicken is in hard the long day, she would pay our orders, pay a pedus. 표자된 더 알아도 롱랑샤스네 표자된 더 소화도 왔어. 기시경 재단 딕마스 딘데 채고라고 빼야고 깨땅스로 딩자강샤 오늘 깨지다. 가서 지금 레기멜라우도서 인치 카바 땅스라. You tell her that we will make her speaker platform. Welcome them. 저러와. 깨땅고래 상마. 아니 가서 누스 신념도 now how do we navigate this, you know? That 소화식 좀 쉬우시도 participation increase. Now we have to make sure that we navigate this and take this forward to a better, more healthy, constructive democracy. Actually, we have made a great leap. Because I'm sitting here. Now, I'll give you a concrete example. In London, there was a Tibetan Sunday school teacher. When I ran for election, how dare you, take the position of political leadership that, His Holiness was vacating. Now I don't serve the Lungelang Now, in 7 years, we have made the transition from elder generation-led leadership to new generation-led leadership. This is a remarkable success, not because of me, but because of all of us. He took bus, hour-long bus, just to Khadagonga. Why? Because he served in government in Tibet, then in India. His Holiness led government, pay our chairs. It's a success story. CTA is a success story. Now, how would the new generation would chigre now, after several years, Lord Devotion, quote unquote, Tanga Shine Kiwuchi, Lord Devotion Shigi Sada. Tanga Simde Mendoza, Ta Shembatsog, Dikitugre, some Simde Mendoza. This is a remarkable achievement. A new generation, our generation did that. We all know the breakfast lay. Our breakfast lady, the YOLO generation, yeah. Breakfast lady. My pala used to say, not don't tone the one, pucho mejo. To your master, Chenzo, your master. Nanzu Yamin Zink, Mendakin Zink Dojo in the Chenzo Tayohorama, Nanzu Dalil Tamindu, Sevilla, because chicken dal masala, Tata, Salakich, Nanzu Zamba Kiche, Kera Yorba, Dawachik Mashiche, Zamba Chula Bangni Sangit in the rest, Chenzo Kalashim, Kenzo, the Yomar Ladeor. Whatever. Yeah, they think, all of us, they always say, your generation hopeless, look at you spoiled. We have taken the responsibility and moving forward. This is the biggest transition. Thank goodness His Holiness had this vision. He thought this is the right time to hand it over. While he's healthy, he can help us, guide us. And we have done it. We are doing it. 7 years. Remarkable. And next election, more should participate. More Kalins and more Chitus and more Sikyong should come from this room. Show it to Chinese, a message. We will carry on for next 50 years if necessary. To Tibetans in Tibet, don't worry. Generation has changed. You are doing very well. We will do equally well. In a complaint, patriotic nationalism, Mindu lies. We should keep complaining. We should keep criticizing. Mindu lahorta ya. How say? Complacency and inertia is the worst disease. Here's why. We should keep complaining. We should keep criticizing. You keep criticizing me, it's good. You're angry, I feel very happy. Because you keep going. The moment you don't criticize, the moment you don't feel passionate, you lose. You become complacent, you become inertia, and then you lose your focus. So it's good, we should get better. 77% increase in voters. Remarkable, Marabe. Early Australia, Canada, you go all, they're all up. They have problem. Decrease in voter participation. Ours is increasing, not increasing, shooting. There's a graph there, so political participation, it's politics, it's new passion, which is a good thing. Really. And I'm trying my best to fuel. Okay, next.
Tinzi Yutula, Dijela, Genzela, Dijela, Kushu Chobala, and then the Mike Yugan do the Yanga Tot Lerona, Mike Yugan do Central Lerona. Yawachiche.
Estile. 지워디 표결이야 답시 당기 다 당고 세련하게 송소 취재 이야기를 지조라 개침부인 바 송소 아니 네 도스타나 베베 지조나라 지조를 읽내라 이야기 여유 조샤 아니 딩아 백가 오충소 인다양 취재가 이야기를 디스 먼저 티셔츠 조샤 섬게도 지조나라 아니 디 이야기 따야라 시티에다 시경기 섬지 카리나 아니 디 디가지 콜라 탑람 카리 요래
Yeah. Big Hechibudism, Twitter technology is very important. Nganzu this Jilit Hegyore. We try. Tibettv is on Facebook, Instagram, page Sangma Yomarwe. Tweets, apps, you can apps that Sangma Yore. So technology Ketan, Big Hechibure, in our schools now, computer lab Yore. Zinda Shibaning is computer lab Gore. During our days, college students and Dharamsala 2 weeks computer training Ranyu. Yoruba. Also, we teach them at the primary school level. So technology is very important. It's our asset. We must use it, and all of us must engage. Tibettv, we are going to make a huge studio, 36 feet by 36 feet studio. The BBC, CNN, Nangshi studio chimbuchi sugore, so that we can reach out to Tibetans around the world. So next year we will have a very fancy studio line there, content and the develop chijurta. So we want all the telecanals complain about the Tibet with content. If you want content, come join us. Make your content. We will show it. Yesterday you watched one movie, right? Day before you watch. All this is new. So if you want a camera, if you want to go to Shija, if you want to make a documentary, we will give you access. You make a document. If you say Tibettv should show it, we will show it. So content is also in your hands. So we want talent people to come. Tibet Core is there. You can come for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or like they say 10 months, and you can work. In fact, we pay you. Not only you're interning. Not only you are getting recommendation, certificate, we pay you, we give you a place to stay. In fact, if you have some experience, few years experience, we pay you half your airfare also. Then they CTA is like, in that sense, a spoiled parent. Hey, come, we pay you half your airfare, we have place to stay, place to eat, and your lunch is only 15 rupees, okay? Don't complain about 12,000. So, we are providing everything. Now, if you don't come, it's your fault. Reve Marve.
DJ la di, Genzela.
Sikyong la dan sama chistile. Ini tang a chwa pa pe mangbo yot inya ta tin tu chi ni chwa ching ma si taime. Tangi chwa ti kharin lan thanda nga chwe phe ni mi mangbo ching ma su su gi rewa gyap chi tension su su gi mi se kya na chi yung gre. Rewa shu chi chan chi su su so khor tan chi le gor. Ta tingsang ma shu ru da. Ma phe la shu ru yang su su so tan chi ma ru da. Himalaya ka khonja ma gi kumba gyap chi ma ru da. So di khare ma ri res. Ma tu system ti ma ri rewe yang khare ma ri me individual ka chi samlo tan ta ti ma ri re yang system ti ma ri re. Ma chu ko chu la ji livable environment chi te tu yo ma re khonja re. So ti kon la ji revision do yor be. Tingsang ma phe la do ni shira mang bu. Ta ma do ni
ke tunda doktor de khare sung da nga ko ma so.
So
hu de.
ni doctor te khal na tingsan phela ma do ni shira mang bo chi dus
pa dongge thi ha re
pa do ni denda mang bo chi yo de kharchi ni re de system ngarang kha chi de system de consola takta chi thwe me re consola environment takta ji nga chu te thu me re be di ni dang de khare cha re di kon la revision yo re be yo ma ho di
re dang so jagan ne phel long ye ma bo yung du di gimzen khar re system le kyen yo re phage yo re Jimzen chikta nangmi re samdo hansa lo nishu sumju shibju ma thu burba an phel show visa ra china sui ne dug re samdo ta thuga dug ba phaga thuga do sabe shugla gashi tenja denge yungdu gashi yuringbu denge yungdu ya mangbuchi su lo yunge yungdu ta di yungdo khan phage la khande chema chi ra lyung re samdo nganzu system yikyeres laba in choching ni yindo and as a CTA as refugee community someone yup thugu mar sangma legate thugu mar sangma che thugu mar what we can give you is we can give you education college time re college ten sabe shugulani legat se ni su chowa ken derwa da sangma che thugu mare 이네 파 롱에 소 임베 이네 파겔라 롱에 망부치 가르스나 다 별을 칭지 내가 지기 있어 게시 이네 곰발을 럽기 있어 게게 이네 수술럽다 럽기 수술 독설 루기 파겔라 펜도 첨부 용도 생에 망부 용거래 디 임베는 게 별을 도체 별 내가 셔라나 약수지 레삼구도다 별 나로 독살라 럽다다 최된다 딘데가 열게 땅 토고도나 약수지 나의 별나 내가 세워 삼수 즉 최고 삼 니동알 베징부들 lep땅 마송알아 아주 망부질 땅구요 말 마당나 now you have to choose stay on or fight right stay on or work in America or come join CTA and I decided to join CTA this so you do jumze 망부 여래 삼도 야 jumzen 지지고 말했음 다치 여러 데라 교인에서 같이 들라고 하래 some say oh 데라 employment midus 라이즈도와 employment 매버다 말했음 employment 아주 내가 지긴 강대여다 사간 내가 치야 여래 강바 야야 여래 창마 여래 니 지금 애라 그래 망아 그래다 야 변유기 찍고 럭매데 야가 쉬게 줘가 시자를 도대고 한 아주 나를 대대 가지네 내가 야보라 하면 내가 야보라 하면 두슬라 그래 어릴래 칭나 잡하 그래 강바 야 그래 사간 내가 지금 털리 뛰고다 그러야 야가라 지금 말에 맞춰야 되고 unemployment problem 말다 제 맞이 강해 다 수술 내가 전부 지기 삼로로 버시도 와야 디소 윤도 간 레갈 직 내가 라그 민두세 디나 말했어 무등에 삼벌 지어 봐 내가 다 열해 소화계다 열해 이대로 가려야 될 내가 가서 상한 대발 내가 지주고도 컴플레인 지기 연나 아릴레 잡으실 상한 내가 또 낭다치요 말이야 생에 따라 상한 내가 지그래 이게 눈들 간 럭매다 상한 내가 신 내가 제버려 소화계 오르미 그러면 디고 오래 디인도 간 별로고 중생이 망고 열에 삼도 초칙니 안가지 베미 딕수 돈에 낭과야 되는데 땐데 열에 삼도 당가서 낭토야디 가르서 신유대야 되래 야 디켄고르다 야 야가 나라 야제 숨주 시작 톱다 명이 야가 개교이네 시작 톱다 명교 열다 간서는 낭미체 낭미 니 여나 저 부게 싱아차 아니 낭미 찍라다 에거 찍라 사제메 부겜버들 파냐 부시험바다 부모시험 출로 텐체 야 야지 숨줄라 시자 톱다 명에 열다 콘주 찍고 지냐 콘주래 낭 여말 대사 여말에 콘주 콜리지 텐사 수술 내가 세워로 수술 강바 세워 지선자 더 산조다 강에 다워다워 열에 지선자 간주 참에 후다바다 제거래 시슈에디 지선자 간주 단데 간사 게 다기라 쉬데 간주 산조 시자수 릴리 시자를 깨닫심으로 차래. So in a way it's a good thing. 산조 용연서 콘조 칼라로서 토까비야메 데사메 주세메스 아 콘조 산조 시자 잡다 산조 시자 잡다. 다도 야보도 와야. As administration kasha nala sanyin complaint mang thakjo. 아 nganzo bedko 데르둘 산조 요 딜리라 산조 요 소페마 산조 요 마날린 한사 벨레코베 nganzo 시자 라마서 nganzo 고열라 데코라 레가 마무 슈차신. So whatever you do actually you're 징조나라 대박 한게 지야 말 그때는 누지 그래 그래서 와 근데 산조 강에 들에 나 하고에 가서 나랑 낭미 빙자여다 나랑 낭미 빙자 소갈럽다 동에 나랑 낭미 빙자 아리 동에 나랑 낭미 빙자 야가 되게 나랑 낭미 빙자 별 동에 I know the situation is 되나 야고 하고라
저디 디젤딩 고쇼 쳐발라제 디젤단도 밑종에 도표샤 된다 저와탕만 도두 닝두 카리카도 나라나시미 뒤뒤 돌아 마베토네 고쇼 쳐발라
로 도마데 번데 시경 초기 쯔베 단라 치딜레공게 달레 춘지기 총도 내도 멤버들 공소 나마데 가릴라메데 체슈에이 드네 단데 예지 첩식 내당기 시베 딱한들 야나기 누도 체르체르도드 먼저 베베기 첩식이 랭귀베디 강에 가루가루에 요디 가자반데 시경 쪽에 송송 아니 그장하라 저 된줄리고는 차례나게 망부지기 강에디 체디기 와요 다가랑 송구도 제디 다 딘네다 지갑돌라 먼저기 다 탑람 심바 alternative avenues인데 제에게 공부시야기 가면인데 중소 계다 제디 나랑기 지게 찬나로지라 아니 단다 예지 나로라 먼저 베베기 지 낭베기 최소하다 딘데다 장례 대와 단다야 다 네트워크 쉬우지 열심히지래 아니 야나 나로 차샤와 있나야 아니 보유난데 딱 한다 낭바 임바든데 사야 숨게 쉽게 깨지시고래 제도 ngara jogi chik shungje gi thone ani thandapadu chale mana wa mare mangbuji tenjo kha gyune na shimbare inda ya ngara gi samsula ani chik shungi tsendi mandebe thone ngara ju simju cheje kandar shungi shungi tiju di mangbe thone ani chöda rishun nalo la ngazu gi chi yapjor jebe thone chozo khala chige gi chozo khala yapjor na wa ina chige gi mimma nalo la peba la shasa lebaji da pebe chöda rishun la shasa lebaji yongtu gu samgudu ani tegan na shi yana nalo la ya dinde gi ngazu simju na je pe ngara ani CTA gi mingdi me sawa ina lamsan chapsi gi ngoji le daya cha ru de je di mangwe be thone nang tabji gongba she ji yonas je nge dire ngarang gi chona de chonso ani pande sigyo choge gongzu khande yona ji sungrona
lare thang zu chezo kha ju che che ju che phe nang la yana nang la nyop shwe pe khe sim bure sam ta da bodo 오늘 지지 치슈지 최저 토니 룹투여래 다들 세브스타래 아주 오늘라다 아주 곰바 곤데카 야주 굽주 곱게 떠르다 다주 야주 굽주 고구 매버스다 내내 아주 배 꺄수 제체로와 제저라 베라 히말라야 주 잠링 용 야나낭 제임데 칸라 in some ways we made a great achievement from complete destruction reda Tibetan Buddhism 98% destroyed reda 99.9% monks and nuns disrobed. Chinese thought they won onera pelte de yokora mara taba yomara gomba yomara ani bet khona dine chenjo ne che and then Himalaya tangso phe na jaga yana na it's a success story. So when people say kenzo the yana imdo durbai na tobya yomara la do kawa kawa chen top sares la uye phenan nangju darsa rishung daryo ke sama dar de we won the politically thandang as topjure ma do chi che the rishung ton top there da yana gazo mo gazo sami tangi lane yo mare this one's the 당아주 가르쳐야 그랬어요. 저 시시에 가서다 주룩하고 총도 쳐야 돼. 이게 가서 제대고 그래. 안 파게 쳐서 할 인베 있네야. 된주 인베 있네래. 주리 관련 인베네 짜르시. 가서 있네 짜르시. 벽이 쉬지. 강도 지도 지게 곱세 고지는 가서 게두든데 요번에 콘저 균이 인베 있네. 가래 인베 있네. 배에나 지 용난라. 가서 디 개침부스베 돈에 대어 못으니 야고 그랬지. 가서 쉬되고 되다. 랍싱이 제진시래. 아니야. 간사 because millennial, the new generation, our biggest achievement has been historically and even now the biggest contribution. We all say, oh, Richard Gere is a good friend. He came through Buddhism, by the way. He didn't come politically first. Even if you look at Tibet support group friends, those who remain with us the longest are Buddhist followers. We should not distance ourselves from a Buddhist group. This one is the six songs. Chepsi the Madebe tons. I think subsubscription should chigore. Kesa the Penal and Karchiwar Karchers. Not chigi mevo mare, not test chigi chair chigore. And the chilo share for him, share with some good new water. And Kesa this thing is oh, now CTA should be less political and more educational and cultural like Yorba. And has a cultural flourishment and cultural genocide in the Tibet. First of all, we should know the bottom line thing. We are not politicizing Tibet issue. Chinese government is. It all started because we lost our country. China occupied Tibet. It's under illegal occupation. Everything we do, one Geshe goes from India or from America to visit his, monastery or few monks in Tibet, Chinese government deny him or her visa. Why? They are politicizing, not us. I can say the city should be less political, we should more. No, I think I think Tibetan freedom movement as a whole is not political enough. Okay, not activist enough, you see. We should be more active, more protests, more rallies, more events. Politically, we should reach the same height like the number one in the whole world. That's when we can put pressure on China. Having said that, political is the umbrella. Under that umbrella, then we must have economic initiative, we must have education initiative, we must have cultural, religious initiative. All that we must. But the bottom line, our movement is political. We can't be less political. It has to remain political all the time. We should tone down politics a little bit, education. Chinese government will never reward you for behaving well. By default, not by design, Mongolians or Inner Mongolia, they are the least vocal as far as their movement is concerned. Compared to Uyghurs and Tibetans, less vocal. Are they rewarded? No. In fact, they are punished more. Mongolian officials in Beijing joke or say it seriously that whatever Mongolians ask, Chinese government doesn't give a damn. Because why? We are not political enough. Uyghurs, they get some because they are quite political. Tibetans, you get more because you have Dalai Lama and CTA and all the exiled Tibetans making noise outside. It's a fact to that. So if you be a little more quiet, a little more jumping, then somehow Chinese government reward us, the reward is not going to come. That is a fact. So we must have more protests, more events, everything more. And organizing events, protests, CTA has no color, obstacle or no barrier. In fact, we have made it, I think we declared 2013 as the year of solidarity. And 2015 is a year of lobby. Last year was a year of activism. I said, solidarity events, activism events, lobbying events, do it, go. This year is thank you event, thank you year. And Facebook they criticize. CTA is organized only thank you event, thank you. As America, thank you year event. Wow, so unpolitical, so boring. Where were you when we declared solidarity year? Where were you when we declared activist year, when we declared lobby year? You don't see them then, you don't see now, and only you see them on Facebook. It doesn't help. So 이건 상을 채워버렸습니다. 최저의 백 component 백 해심버렸습니다. 라오.
디젤 길렉 남겔라 디젤 톱젠라 된다 디 마이크 요긴도 되디 나오지. 디와 비비 소로지 길렉 남겔라.
방도 델리아 공수교회 남랭이 상말에 참드시에 아니 다카스니시니 라와짱짱 바데 아니 고급디 균이 기시 고급 해봐이나 아니 디원이 표에기 고급 나로치 기시 해봐이나 디워지 강쇼시에
지라나시
나서 아니 이 디워 찍대 디 당한주 디상기 진주 표미 지조 나로레 양라기 까민낭데데 아니 중주기 롱아다 주 나로리아 문부 페이지데 아니 갸베 주숨다 아니 니슈 갸갑카 나로 슝이 딱 비미소 아니 납중압주 차도 그랬을 송데데 양라 차디 교래 아니 네데 디더 데비톨리아 아니 비미디주기 뇌니 납동압주기 차남다 데비톨리아 아니 니슈 갸갑토 나로리아 네 가란투기 아니 기타 리슌티니카 디마이비 아니 가란투 비주 핀제 아니 미냐 준주 지에톨리아 아니 미시기 레샤 사바다 니디톨리아 아니 차나 근데 메콜리아 공수경기 디콜리아 소로나 스슈에
그래. 이게 가지지 주의 삼스 여러분. So we have to accept the fact that that how do we preserve Tibetan language yet? We have to accept the fact that Tibetans in the West, we have to teach them Tibetan as a second language. Tibetan as a first language. Let's be real. That Tibetan as a second language, we have textbook. How to speak, how to read, how to write Tibetan. We can look at it. And then Shiri Kalyan, the Shiri Lejeram, every year they go to Europe and America to train Tibetan teachers. And then if you want to learn Tibetan language, you come to Sara College right here in Dharamsala. It's available. If you want monk and Shija experience, monastic Shija, you go to Hunsur, you go to Sera, Belakupi, you go to Menkot. It's free, Rida. You just come and join. And you learn Tibetan Buddhism and, even attain Nirvana if you can. It's all free. From our side, facilities are there. Now, if you're not learning, and of course, more needs to be done. Ultimately, individual responsibility. Those who talk about preserving and promoting Tibetan culture, they love the idea. There's those kinds of exclusionary and color. I think culture is not static. We all know that it evolves. My father's belief in Tibetan culture and it has evolved in the last 60 years. It's a fact. But what we are saying is, you are a Tibetan, and you must know your culture. You must know your Tibetan language. Tibetan language, I tell this to Tibetan parents in New York, the Devachila. Ultimately, at the end of your life, death we have to embrace. As a Buddhist, we always embrace death. At the end of your life, you have to die. Just before you die, look at your children's face and say, Pugu, ta ngashi dure, ta ngala kyanso ngashi sabishule melam jashoas. Ngayan shi sabishul kyanso melam jagins. That's the last word they say. That's Tibetan parents. I pray for you, you pray for me. The lave kapla, pala, what is melam? Lana? I mean, no? The lagru, melam shingmena. Oh, I know prayer. Oh, yeah, I'll hire some monks and pray for you. Oh, yeah, that's good. You're high. You can always pay high. But if you pray for your own parents, and you're supposed to remember your parents, you pray for them, all those who have left. Because why? Your children are also supposed to pray for you, and your children are supposed to pray for you. So unless you know the Tibetan culture, you get into YOLO. Why I mention YOLO, it's just an example, Rita. You only live once and do whatever you want in this life. This is a millennial mantra. YOLO is in clear, direct violation of Buddhist notion of reincarnation. So if you subscribe to YOLO, you have completely assimilated. You are not Buddhist anymore. So that means you have removed so far away from Tibetan culture. So that's why we say, you should learn Tibetan language, you should know your Tibetan culture. It doesn't mean that if you don't speak Tibetan, it doesn't mean you are not Tibetan. You are Tibetan. Of course you are Tibetan. We embrace you like, when the Tibetans of mixed heritage came to Dharamsala, we funded them, contributed them a little bit, they came to Dharamsala, and one of them asked me, what is your policy for us? I said, we have no policy. They were like shocked. And I said, because you are Tibetan. We have one policy for Tibetan. You are Tibetan. I have a nephew who's mixed heritage. I have a niece who's Tibetan mixed heritage. I have no different policy. You are Tibetan. So you should embrace us because we are embracing you. Now you have to do your part and we will do our part. That's how we go. We also rolled out the Tibetan carpet for them. The Kasha hosted them dinner, audience with His Holiness, toured them all the places. That's what we can do. We are embracing you. You are a Tibetan. Please come home, join us. But you have to do your part too. Learn a little bit of Tibetan language. There's a fun. After a few words, you learn a sentence or two, you improve. And then you feel Tibetan. Why I say this, I'm from Darjeeling area. When I got elected as Sikyong, I was mocked and made fun of by everybody, including His Holiness Dalai Lama, for my lack of Tibetan language, okay? So if you are feeling shy of not knowing Tibetan language, I was mocked and made fun by everybody. All the critics, including His Holiness, said, Sikyong Phyoke di Punashi Jagres. I've been ridiculed. But I never took it as an offense. I said, I'll do my best, If you're from Kato Gangsum, Kalimpong, Darjeeling area, that, we are labeled as Toro Moro. Neither there nor there, you see. Really. But, why should I take offense? I said, yes, I'm Tibetan. I have no guilt per se, I should do my part because they are doing their part. And we find a common ground and improve. In the last 7 years, my Tibetan has improved, but my English has gotten worse, So it's give and take, you see. So, that's how you go about doing it. So, as far as culture, language is also concerned, it's important. But step by step, we all get there.
디젤라 돕젠라 디젤라 빼말라물라 제 디젤 두두민도 공개맵 쇼이 근데 차 경계 망보시우스도 근데 계제 너무 담불이 쉬비 딘다 아니 디 저땅 투매베나 아니 두두 파라파라리아 공세경 제제 되어나로나 쉬이 돕젠라 디네 빼말라무 디네 참샤기
반디시경 초라 마로 데레 쉬이 니 티와디디 데 계제기 찹시다 벤조기 토라 도슈 체로르야치도 갸나기 One Belt, One Road initiative the Shuk Champochi Begueza, Ditundala, Lumba Mambuchi, the Kapa Champochi, or Mixed Gagada, Ari, the top shoot Chevel Mambuchi, Kapa Gagueza, Ditola Danganzo, Primitic Zuyamina, pimi gyabgyo chopa khagi thande chala ine mao chala ine ni gyana da lumba ma puchi dewa de la initiative digi nu ki gyo na de la ngzup ki phebe thapje thola kheben chilen thu ena mena it is some gonza chuna
The One Belt, One Road Doha, there was a THC meeting in Mexico because of the organized Shesha. And I said, sat through one afternoon, I looked at the agenda, One Belt, One Road was missing, Mindu Dibula. And I said, the biggest national and international policy of China is One Belt, One Road, and here we are, Tibetan activists gathering, to do, planning to organize events, and One Belt, One Road is not even an item. It's missing. We missed out on that market economy status also. We should heard where market is affected. China is trying to get the market economy status. European countries are denying, America is denying, so many countries are denying. We could have formed alliance. Many of the trade unions are denying that. And we never joined that move. We missed that boat. And I raised this with THCs and others. Market economy status is one thing China is trying to get. It's almost like Olympics more. Olympics is an event. Market economy status is where they want to be the major partner in this globalization. Yorwa, Mindu. And One Belt, One Road came Mindu. Everybody is talking about it, and I did my best, and I raised it, and it's not there. So we should do better. We must do research ahead. And then plan. That's why it's 550. What are you going to do in the next 5 years and 50 years? You should look forward. China 2025. What is our plan? Made in China. What is our plan? What are our moves? Gorvata. That's why you all are here, to talk about all these things. Plan ahead. I'm not boasting. Some people say, how come I'm calm and I just go on, I'm doing my own work? In 2011, after I got elected, I had audience with His Holiness, and I presented to him, these are the 10 things I'm going to do in the next 5 years. He said, very good. That's it. I went on doing it. 2016, same thing. I said, these are 10 things I'm going to do. He said, go ahead. And I'm just going about doing. That's why I'm calm, why I'm not bothered by all the noise, is because I have a plan. I presented to him, he accepted. Now if you ask me to tell you, I won't, because it's top secret. I just go about doing it. We all need a plan. 50 years plan. One Belt, One Road missing that. Because we all know of the 27 countries in Europe, 26 ambassadors in Beijing, European ambassadors, wrote an open letter challenging One Belt, One Road initiative because it's not transparent enough. That contracts are not given to the locals, because even the Chinese have declared that 80% of the contract, any construction, is going to Chinese companies, and they're bringing Chinese employees, and they're saying it's not helping all the local companies, whichever country they are. That's why America is not joining, India is not joining. We must have a stand. These are the things activists are supposed to do. These are NGOs are supposed to do, because CTA is middle way. We can't be too political. Supposed to do. We must. What we can do is, what I do is, I said, One Belt, One Road, Labata. Of course, we have our experience. We lost our country, Tibet, because of one road. And I said, why? From China to Tibet, they built one road. They said it's good for us. After building the road, they brought the trucks, tanks, and they occupied our country. So that's our experience level. Oh, question mark. Now I say, you think for yourself. Is the road coming to help you or harm you? You be the judge. That we can share. So that's what I share everywhere. And then I give actual details, how good they are, how they co-opted some of our elites. How they fooled us, gave us gold coin and silver coins. We helped build that road, They gave us silver coins. Later we found out that Chinese government built silver coin factories near Chengdu just to supply silver coins to Tibet. Silver coin Shivrar, how they collected it back, All the aristocrats were told, you will be sent to prison provided you give donation. And all gave silver coins. They got 90% collection. Yeah, just read. I would not name aristocrats' biography in Tada. Some donated 20 kgs silver coins, 30 kgs, 50 kgs silver coins, just to get away from prison. Some of the aristocrats did not suffer during Cultural Revolution because they gave silver coins in donation. Chinese is very smart. Give it to locals give it to aristocrats. put a penalty, everybody gets silver coin, they got 90% collection, they build the road, they brought tanks and guns, occupied a country. So you must know your history well. So you can share the narrative, counter-narrative, It's very important. That we must take a stand. And that's why CTA, we can do something we cannot do. And we have to outsource to THGs and all that. Hopefully you all will come with better plans in this afternoon Karsata. No pressure, huh? Breakout session. We will be blown away. Wow! So many things to do. And most of the things they are going to do themselves. That will wow us.
Did Tamadi Pemalamula?
Dasaram lai so na shi pumu ngara mingla pe mai ani ngara thadasane phayu ni le bai ta ngasa phayu do im bai na the sani khade do ji gyami gi ta 1 point policy the accept che gi phayu la ta pe zata gi ta khala thada ngasa thanda duk sama dinde zom pheba sama duk zom ke ja chi chi ta ke ja samju din she dinde ko sang ni rai ma re ta that 세상 두상다 여름치 통과도 이날에 마운트 두제 마스텐도 네 캠브게 두제 다 틴데다 싸니요 말해라 치당이 두제 틴데라 배바 참아 다 좀에 틴데다 요가라 말해라 아니 틴데시 다 틴데로 산에라 틴데 소소 차지 아니 단다 틴데 산이니 델렙체 단다 땅가 당갑 주기 단다 총들라 소소기 다 파티시페이트라 디마세 단다 배방 알아서 있는 산이 가사가니 대표하자 사마데 다 사마리 아니 소소 사마지 삼주도 시야라도 문내고라 럽상 싱겔라 시경 럽상 싱겔라 다 아주 배숑랑 오늘 셈바팅네 가나 로갓 사망 오늘 삼디 투지제 쉐 오늘랑 다단다 당아랑 다 튀어지 쉐라 카인라나 당아 당아랑 충분히 당한 가랑 남기 딩럽네 다 배숑 럽다니 어제 디스레게라 tanga khas thingi dilana ngarang lobda chungdi ne che ta thanda ngara ina bachelor sars ra ta dipara lo chonga stress ra ta ngazo gi thanda khang shigi nga dangap chu para ngazo shenge la ni lakja te or ta chu she ore ngazo ina langore lege ra himbe ne ngarang chungdi ne ta ngarang lobda unzi do imba na nga chungdi ne ngi lobda unzi re nga lo chonga dosa thanda lobda unzi re ngi gegen do ji imba na labgi yore thanda nga lo digam dosa thanda gegen re 산에 가기 궁어 줘 임바나 닝어만이 궁어 통이 롱아 툭스 디스 단다이 궁어래라 다 예양이 나다 칼라니 크리티사이즈 치야 메디데 이네 가서 쉔게라 가서 직 지워래라 나 쉔게라 플랫폼 고레 팅게두라 아니 디 가서 페숑라 칸데라 리타이어먼트 시스템 도 이나 가디 치 고게라 건다 쉔야 디 카데 도지 나가 도디 처와지 레기드라시 제마 시경 라다 로스음기 땀차랑 가서 랑거라야 가서 지워라 왜 되게인지
네 retirement system 가르라는 로 tukju chana retire dogo gore an exception 가르여스나 로니 로시 파르냐 지야죠 로 tukju 사마 retire dogo 달로 the payul mix에 가르스나 payul 산에 군지 제와 야메죠 because we have big challenge payul shugu manner와 bagela residency manner you can't walk 맞아 다람살란 얘기 레가스타 와네 데 가자 디 강에 최고 this one's a payul legends on tenja masha kamere shugu manner 내가 최초고 말와 그래서 가서 되네 다람살라 공고라고도 공고 땅도 가라 내가 티 체크하고 서럽지래 because already payul is under tremendous pressure you 가라 and if you send someone from here they become vulnerable police police literally they take you to prison jail lugurta if you don't have documents that's it you're caught you're doing illegal lamsa chonga chu dugure nganzu kungo mangu chonga do sare dugo this one the payul is an exception where transfers the yama jewa gyajdo so what we are trying to do in payul we train payul rangi mi yigse yagaranta and payul rami leje ko go tande chal re sheme lo tuji chana samar reta dugo lo and the next has finally get the documents kesaya the Ume Lamda Rangzen Kamyo de Chungsu, culture genocide getting Chungste, and Tangi should sabe. Ultimately, Chinese politicized the whole Tibet issue because they occupied us. Number two, their goal and the policy design is culture genocide. They want to destroy our country. They want to make Tibet a Chinatown. They want to make Tibetan Chinese people. This we must accept. As a design today, I remember they were dances so Sarah Dripung Gandhi was destroyed in 1950-60. Oh, there is religious freedom. I've met many Tibetans, some Tibetans, and especially Tibetologists. They're expert, no? I've been to Tibet. I have seen Larungar. I have seen Yachengar. Those were the examples. Now, where is Yachengar? Where is Larungar? We've been saying, no, look, it will be destroyed ultimately because culture genocide is the policy and the practice of the Chinese government. Oh, I've seen 5,000 nuns. Look, it's happening. Design the culture genocide at university level. Medieval instruction is Chinese. High school, Chinese. Middle school, medieval instruction is Chinese. The article, I think, 4 of the Minority Nationality Act clearly says Tibetans are not only allowed but should be encouraged to use Tibetan language. Lagu orba. You read that? They don't. They don't allow. If there's a meeting of 20 staff in Tibet, 2 are Chinese. They talk in Chinese. They're scared. The 2 might inform the Chinese government. If they talk in Tibetan, if they use one wrong term, one wrong word, they might land up in problem. This is the culture genocide is the policy. Now, anecdote there will be. You will have Larunga sometimes. You will have some border area. Some, there will be cultural dance performance. Yoruba Institute. All that is there. Museums. You will see that. But when push comes to shove, they come after you. They'll get you. That also we must accept. Another point I want to make is somehow CTA is disconnected with Tibetans in Tibet. Sometimes I worry that CTA is more disconnected with Tibetan youth than Tibetan inside Tibet. This has become a fashion. I know where it's coming from. The Tibetologists go, oh, CTA is in Dharamsala, they don't know Tibet. No, 40% of the members of parliament in our parliament in Dharamsala are from Tibet. Editors of most of the newspapers, Tibetan newspapers, are from Tibet, new arrivals. 20% of Tibetan staff are from Tibet. One of the security colleagues who was here on the first day was from Tibet. As I said, I have interacted with hundreds of them in America and thousands of them after coming to India. We know what's going on. Now this disconnect, CTA is so, Dharamsala Shing is a big of new fashion, new mantra. I'm sorry, they're wrong. We are aware. Now, why do we take out a report and say there's culture genocide in Tibet? Because we are attacking or criticizing or challenging the Chinese government policy, their intent, their motivation. At ground level, their monastery, their culture institute, their performance, what is the ultimate goal? That's what we are challenging. So, and then middle way has 3 dimensions. One, dialogue. That's often is the most explained, and everybody says, talk to Chinese is mutually beneficial. And some say it's a dead end, there are a lot of views. So hence, why not we change it? But that's not the only part. Other part is the international dimension. As I said, middle way approach opens space for us. Taiwan doesn't even say independence. They are not advocating, formally declared Chigo Mata, because Chinese government says so, the Taiwanese leaders cannot travel to America, India, or Europe. Taiwan Travel Act, US Congress passed. Trump signed it. And for the first time, Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen visited California and managed to give a talk at Reagan Center in California. Sikyong and Kalyan, we can go to Washington, D.C., meet senators, Congress, because why? We are Ume Lam and Shive Lam. We are middle way and non-violence. Chinese government wants to tag us and put us in a box and then isolate us and let us stay only in Dharamsala. That's their goal. But because we say middle way and non-violence, these countries get plausible deniability. No, they are not advocating independence, they say so. They are not advocating violence, they say so. So we let them come. So plausible deniability, all the Europeans, they allow us. But many countries in Asia, even Buddhist countries, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, they buy Chinese argument. They say Dalai Lama and CTA is advocating independence, hence their splittists don't allow them to the country. You see? So this dimension, this part of Umelam, it's a brilliant strategy. It gives us space, it gives us platform, it gives us, space to travel around the world and advocate Tibet cause. Third dimension is inside Tibet. This is very, very important. We all must know this. If you advocate independence, they send you to prison. If you're Umelam, what we are saying is, we declared in 1992, the moment autonomy is granted to Tibetans in Tibet, CTA will be dissolved. Sikyong will be a layperson tomorrow on. We have no interest whatsoever in going back to Tibet and taking over the political leadership or power. Tibetans in Tibet who are already working in Tibet, they will be empowered. Umelam is for you. You will be empowered. You are a Tibetan, there's a Chinese. You will be empowered. You will govern and you will administer Tibet your way. We exile will dissolve. We will come as common citizens. And it's very empowering. Hence, Tibetans, we should accept the fact that there are Tibetans in Tibet who are ideologically communists. They believe in China and they believe in autonomous arrangement. But they just think they are not powerful enough. They don't have authority because in Tibet, the party secretary has always been Chinese. Not just party secretary. If there are 13 standing committee members, of the 13, 7 are first Chinese, okay? Remaining 6, one is half Chinese, married to Chinese, brother-in-law, sister-in-law is Chinese, and there's one Tibetan. This is how it's structured, even at county level, prefecture level now. Tibetans are qualified, but they don't become county party secretary or prefecture party secretary because they're Tibetan. Umelam says, no, it's for you. We want the rights in the constitution be implemented. Your rights and your authority should be given to you. Hence, Tibetans in Tibet support us, support Umelam, because they say, it's good for us. It's good for Tibetans, it's good for Tibetan Communist Party members. Hence, they become our partner. Did it? You go to jail. So having said that, we are not saying we should not advocate Rangze. Those who label Rangze as anti-Dalai Lama is absolutely wrong. Rangze advocates are not anti-Dalai Lama. But some people use Rangze to criticize His Holiness Dalai Lama. That's also wrong. You should not use Rangze to criticize His Holiness. There's no one who has worked harder than His Holiness Dalai Lama. Let's face it. He's 83 years old. Let him rest. Let us all praise him, worship him, forget about criticizing him. Okay, so even if you bring Rangze, criticize, I don't like it. What are you doing? You can advocate Rangze without criticizing His Holiness Dalai Lama. No? Marave. So there we have to draw the line. Hence, Umelam people also, when they criticize Yerba, because the problem is they say you're anti-Dalai Lama, and the Rangze people say, oh, you're selling out, you are a traitor. The Rangze people should stop saying middle way are traitors, you are selling out. We all are nationalists, patriotic nationalists. We all are trying to do something for a cause. Let's find a common ground, create a big space in the middle, and work together. That's how we should move forward. So I know I couldn't answer all your questions, but I did the best I could. And great seeing you all. And this breakout session, you have whole day today. We are looking for practical, pinpointed solutions that you can do and we should do, not generic recommendations. Doesn't help you, doesn't help us. So I wish you all the best and looking forward to the result of the recommendations. Thank you very much.
자경의 민주스타바 중소 미겔모도 그거 피하라면서 이민이 공부 시용 단다마 저와칼리아 세션 남도 담발 망체지기 저월리아 렌테 요레스무도 딘단 게시 마테베니아 디포루 도발리아 저와나로나 쉬어체 인단다 까마 쫑아토스 장소 공개명버체 인디젤리아 간도 소중 콜리아 간도 대시 마 경그레 간데스 chen nangun.
강자직 루카 나랑라 초둘나에드레 breakout sessions. ngazu di kechimbu pitsigi kaisna kongsegyong sungwana shi ngazu nga dangap ju shunge mangbu jik chu dharamsala la peche ani jik miga thugi ma sungde ani shi nga jigi ya tibatang de baina chungdu dumje di mare ngazu khodi chinge ine tatri ngazu chungdu di cho chabe Keep low learning relationship. So the breakout sessions the 자주 쭉찍다가 모조고요. 아니 보다 자주 조금 더 좋아요. So the breakout sessions 이 presentation branch